All right, we are now streaming live here at Red or Green Books on our Facebook page. Welcome to the April 2024 Book Club Author Talk. Today we are featuring Stone Poetry written by the one and only Rick Spisak. I'm so honored to be having published Rick's latest collection of poetry. He's become a dear friend of mine, as well as, of course, many in the poetry community. At this time, you might notice the room is just me because at this time, Rick is battling cancer, and he is. We're putting all that energy into his healing right now, and so I'm going to do my best not to cry today. I'm going to do my best to get through today, and to be putting healing energy out there for Rick. His book, Stone Poetry, is available on the website. There is a $5 coupon this month for his book. All you have to do is ring out his book and in your cart, and then you put the coupon code is STONE, and that will give you $5 off of his full collection here. It is 192 printed pages. It is a wonderful book. He also has included a great deal of artwork in his book, so you get to see some of his drawings as well in here. It is a lovely collection. For those who may be not familiar with Red or Green Books, right? We are a female forward press located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This year, we are publishing our 1 millionth word. We put it out to the universe, and it seems to be arriving as the year is unfolding. Every year, we launch debut poets, meaning poets who've never published a book of poetry. This year we have 11 debut authors. We also have 5 more independent authors, like people who have previously published books coming out of Red or Green Books throughout 2024. Very excited to announce those. Those people are up on the website if you'd like to read more about any of the authors or read the reviews on the books as well. And you can pre-order any of the books that have not dropped yet. You can get those on the website, as well as the full collection of the different works and bodies of work from Red or Green Books. All right. So I had this idea that I would have Rick pre-record readings of his work that I could stream today. Through technical issues and, of course, all of the other things that are happening in his life, what I opted for instead was to play his feature that he had at The Word is Right. The Word is Right is our sister platform, right? So the Red or Green Books is our publishing platform. The Word is Right is our performing arts platform. That is where, of course, we welcome everyone to come and read, share music, stories, whatever they would like to perform during our open mics. And of course, we host workshops. We do a lot of great things. We have shows almost every day of the week at The Word is Right. So tune into that. And Rick had come to do a triple feature in October of 2022 at The Word is Right. And so what I've done is I've gone back into the archived videos for The Word is Right on our Facebook page. And by the way, also all of these videos are uploaded to the YouTube page for either Red or Green Books and or The Word is Right. And so it's Red, READ, for those who might be watching this back who are not in the room today. Perhaps you're not very familiar with the press. It is Red, READ, redorgreenbooks.com is our website. And of course, The Word is Right, WRITE. So that is some quick housekeeping things. I was going to announce who next month was, and I didn't pull it up because sometimes that just pours out of my brain on my list of all the things to do. All right, let me pull this up. And then I will also pull up the who is going to be featuring here at The Word is Right in the subsequent open mics this summer. All right, so in May of this year, we have Kimberly KMA Anderson and her book, Do I Look African Enough? And that has won a Best Indie Book Award for 2022. 2022. 2022. But it is an internationally award-winning book. She is a South African poet. She just had a baby. It's so much fun stuff is happening for her life. So many blessings. So if you're a fan of hers or you don't even know anything about her, make sure you're here the third Sunday in May so that you can hear her work. It is absolutely stunning. And then at The Word is Right, upcoming features, we have Kelly Mary McAllister from Canada is going to be featuring with Laura Lila. That will be Saturday, May 11th. We have Jeremy Hickson, May 18th. Valoise Vera, also known as Crip Lyrical, will be here Saturday, June 15th. Quinn Collard will be Saturday, June 22nd, and Zachary Sakati will be Saturday, July 20th. You don't have to write all that down. Just go to The Word is Right's Facebook page and or our Instagram page, and you can find all of that information there with the dates, the times, and the Zoom links, because our shows are in Zoom, of course, and it's going to be an interesting day today because we're live streaming this show for book club, and we're going to be streaming the recording of Rick's live stream. So it's a live stream of a live stream. So it'll be a little bit interesting, but it's a wonderful way, I think, to pay tribute to Richard and all of his incredible work that he has done in this poetry community. I'm going to go ahead and read his bio that is on the website because, of course, October 2022, when he performed what I will share with all of you today, there's been a little bit of life that's happened, right? And so that bio might be outdated. So I'm going to read the most current bio for you. We're going to show his full featured set. I believe it's 15 to 20 minutes, which is a little shorter than we would have here at Book Club. But that's just the way we're going to roll it today. And of course, he's not here in person, so there will be no Q&A assigned to that. But hopefully you strap in and you really just are able to enjoy his body of work. Also, during book club, any sales of the books go straight to the author, so you can bless him by getting a copy of his book. Now, if you already have a copy of his book, buy another copy and go give it to someone. Books make incredible gifts for people. And I guarantee you the best book you could have read last year, this year, and next year is going to come from my press. And so get his book. You will not be sorry. It is like there is something in here for everyone and is very unapologetic. And I will go ahead and read some of the reviews that people have written about this book as well, if you're not familiar with Rick or his book Stone Poetry. All right. Richard W. Spisak Jr. began his work as a professional artist in the studio of Mel Tanner of Lumonics, studying performance light art. Then Richard worked with the luminist Kevin Lyman, and I hope I'm saying this correctly, of Dazzle Land Studios, who had earned the very first doctorate of Lumia granted by the Sorbonne. Richard worked at the Miami Space Transit Planetarium during the production and debut of Marvin, Viking Lander Show. Richard earned a broadcast engineering license and later studied digital electronics. He's performed as a light artist in planetariums and toured as a laser artist in both North and South Americas. Richard has been a writer, producer, director in live theater, TV, radio, and the web. His political and anti-war essays have been published in volumes for 3 decades. He has published 2 short story collections. The first, two small windows in a pair of mirror doors, a collection of stories about aliens, ashrams, and gurus, and his second collection, including both fiction and nonfiction, is entitled Between the Silences. It has been lauded from Asia to Americas. His new poetry collection is scheduled, of course, now it is already published, Stone Poetry. In 2022, Richard published the poetry he has been performing for the last decade in a volume entitled 7370 Allen Drive. Since 2022, Richard has been producing an internal literary webcast entitled Poets of the East. It has just wrapped its 5th season, or at least it was when this bio was written. Poets of the East, also featuring poets from Asia, Europe, and the Americas. He is now living in the mountains of Tennessee. You can find him at Rick Avery. Sorry, Rick. You can find him at averyvoice.com. The Poets of the East is newmercurymedia.com/POE.html. You can also find his book, Two Small Windows in a Pair of Miradors at twosmallwindows.com. Betweenthesilences.com is where you'll find that book. And let's see, everything else. There are a bunch of hyperlinks if you would also like to see his multimedia art. The hyperlinks for newmercurymedia.com are on the website. You just click Meet the Poets and you will click individual author, and that will bring you to our list of poets who have published outside the scope of the debut poets, and you can click those links and you can find certainly more about Rick Spisak there. I'm going to go ahead and read some of the reviews on the back of his book. Kemlin Tan Bappy writes, Spisak's satirical approach to socio-political challenges is almost an absurdist hyperbole. Robert Cole writes, it's a privilege. A maker of poetry that's immediately lyrical and sardonic, mellifluous and laconic, a poet of the real politic. Very interesting, right? We have poetic license through spelling. Laura Greville writes, his rhyming poetic high life gives a dance tour of tap and shuffle to deliver hijinks on themes serious, philosophical, and light. And then I will go ahead and read Gilda Castro writes, he offers us constantly through his poems, making a bridge from his heart to the heart of the world. It is simply unmissable. And he really is one of the most generous, loving, kind human beings I've ever had the opportunity to meet. And I'm so blessed that he is a part of Red or Green Books, that he is a forever solidified his legacy here through his work. And so thank you, Rick, for being a part of the journey. Shaki G is joining us. Thanks, Shaki. So today I'm going to be streaming Rick's feature because Rick is undergoing chemotherapy right now and he is not well to be here. So we are going to send him love and light and a lot of healing energy and enjoy the live streaming of the live stream recording of his feature from October 2022 here at Lord is Right. So let me go ahead and share screen. This is a delicate balance of, oh, you know what? All right, so when I share screen on the Chromebook, I cannot use my audio, but you should be able to hear Rick. So maybe, Shaki, if there's any issues and you can't hear anything, just type it in the chat. But hopefully this should work. All right, this should do just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to share system audio, and here we go. Mute your mics, please. Give it up for our first featured reader, Mr. Richard Spisak!
Yay!
Thank you, my friends. Thank you so much. I first have to say, I have met few artists as giving, as generous, as warm-hearted as Marissa Prada, writer, producer, webcaster, human being of the first order. Right up there with some of the other very, very fine talent poetic producers. Brother David, another one of those people. You can't say enough about people like Marissa and David. They do so much good, and so many of us benefit from their work. It's an honor, and I believe that and mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's an honor to call both of you friends. I will now start my first piece. It is dedicated to you, Marissa, who I know, in addition to your many other thousands of skills, you're also a good mother. And that, for a human being, is a really, really powerful, wonderful thing. So I read this one, dedicated to Marissa. It's called The First Gifts. Because a mother is the person who gives the very first things we all get in our life. Okay, here we go. The First Gifts, dedicated to Marissa Prada, poet extraordinaire. The First Gifts. Yes, You welcomed those babes at your breast, gave them from your own life sustenance, thought first of them, their pleasure, their pain, their need, then some other, and then yourself. You brought them through the most holy, sacred gate they will ever enter into the world and into a human life. It can be readily said, you gave the very first gift. Before the gods at the cradle round bestowed those precious others, you clothed them in flesh, gave them their first form. What cells and man and fashion could give, you gave first. Before your gift, there was nothing, and your giving self made every other giving possible. When the first cry is heard, it calls your name. When each searching hand first reaches out, it reaches out for yours. When you press the tiny lips to your breast and smell those first tender breaths, those sweet garden scents are meant for you alone. As tiny fingers first begin the long, lonely search, they search first for you. Never is this new being more beautiful than when seen with your eye. Never is the kind of blessing given than that given from your eye and heart. No wonder the mother is so universally blessed. No wonder such special blessedness belongs first and last to mothers. She has given so much of her flesh, her heart, the first gifts. I I I can't say more than that. I am eternally, eternally grateful to every woman who has made this path her choice. And to those who have chosen another path, that's wonderful too. But okay. Now, this next one, I go to some humor. This is called Let's Send the Rich into Space. Let's send the rich into space. They know their place, high above the common trace. Let's send the rich into space. We'll spare them gladly, far from our face, jeering madly. They've made their case. Let's send the rich into space. Let's send the rich into space. Let them make their own fresh air. They'll have to make it. I just don't care. No use to fake it. Losing the rich won't make us sad, mad, or even glad, but it does scratch an itch because all they had they stole, shaken and taken from their bulging pockets, breaking, scraping from the plates of our beloved poor, huddled, shivering outside their iron-hearted door. Don't let the door from behind hit you. I won't mind if the tiny door fits you. You don't have to share one drop of space. There's a lot. Plenty of vacuum out there to spare. Let's send the rich into space. I swear. You may keep your spoils and your buds, the royals, just so you're all amused. And let me leave you these crumbs of clues. It seems you might have to polish your own muddy, bloody shoes. About time you pay your dues. No longer will they walk among us. Send them out into the stars far from us, just about par. They can take their yachts, their cars, and out to the stars. Let's send the rich into space. That place. Bless their darling arses. Let them dodge and duck as each meteor passes. Take their own poodle out for a willy. Whoa, solar flare, whoops, silly. And the next spinning, grinning asteroid until he needs to build his lunch until the spaceship goes crunch. Let's send the rich into space. Take all their sneering, their complacent careering, their vainglorious poses right up their surgeon trim noses. They're just too good to tarry here. Why then, my friend, it's to us the earth and its clear waters dear. Take your servants if they're willing. No need be waited upon and get their fill in. As if you're sage or some new age villain, let's send the rich out into space. I'll chase. Let's spend their lives without their humble shutters drawn and your royal progeny entitled classes at the schools they bought and spawned, where each dawn of royal clan skates right through and across the gold-plated span. Every man a king, every woman a queen. No more knee shall bow, nor wait in distress ere now, or any scene of their mess. Let's send the rich into space, I guess. Okay, now we're going to do a little serious. This is called Lion Dog. This is from a dream. My brother David gets so much wonderful, rich uh, gifts from his dreams. This is one of mine. It's a lovely little piece. I dreamt that I was a temple guard, a dog placed to guard the temple from evil spirits. So this is called Lion Dog. There we go. Let's see here. Number 47. There we go. Flying o'er the temple, zounds! I watched the sacred lion dog roam the gardens fair and temple grounds, his patrols punctuated with barks and growls. I watched in interest from high above, because you see that lion dog was also me. During his training to patrol the temple grounds, he'd been given special barks, charmed with sacred magic sparks. Every bark a prayer, his barks profound. These sigils gleamed and glowed in the air, full power beams unbounded blare. Sacred barks, these powers made. Such sounds profound commandeth any shade. Few are aware the subtle war that shrieks beyond the temple door. Sweet in the temple souls seek solace, sanctuary, peace. That glory is only part of the story. Deep sounds profound, rich in power bound. The lion dog protects the souls that come for sanctuary amid the scrolls. More than solace, a palace so bright, a torch in the deep and sacred temple light. Just outside, sometimes wicked ghouls would disturb the troubled sleep of souls who need the temple's sacred peace. The lion dog protects and guards the deep. While I o'erflew, observed, and watched, the lion dog patrolled and never stopped. My vantage point soared from high o'erspread, and sudden pivot pairing, darting deep inside the lion dog's head. I watched as dangerous spirits drifted past, almost to dare and try at last against the temple walls and gardens pierce, had not the lion dog been so fierce. As lion dog, I stroll the garden's border, warning them off, sure they'd spawn some macabre disorder. Some might scoff as I watched the lion dog drive them off. These drifting spirits mischievous sought would float by dreaming lest the lion dog stop. The lion dog barked and warned them, away! They'd flee his massive jaws, these shades would shrink before his awesome law, keeping demons from the grounds. The guardianship was more powerful than mortal eye might see, or any mortal ear bear the sound. What shades these wizards sent to temple to dissemble, and thereby acolytes might shriek and tremble, though the enemies of the temple crow and bray. That's why our patrolling lion dog in his sacred voice say, we are trained for courage, and on sacred blessed food are nourished. Thus our strong walls protect us, that the temple might flourish. While I on watch guard our grounds from villains and demons, which I know and sensed even when they're scarcely seen. The lion dog bounds across the grounds, patrolling the temple from any noisome sound. I watched as villains tried to worry, shake the gentle vibrations of the sacred space. While on patrol, I spotted villains near. I am bound to face them and shame their fear. My barking was marked in air by floating sacred sigils, like monks marking ancient scrolls in vigils. He's floated, as if in marking barking signals. As a lion dog, I mark the border. As sacred guardian protects the ancient order. Lion dog. Okay, and we go from the serious to the sublime. This is called Pussy Riot. Many of you know the terrible, terrible fate that faces anyone in Russia and in many other terrorist states when someone stands up. And you know, in an age when women are still questioned, their values still questioned, these brave women, these brave women stood up to face the most hideous tyrant still on the planet. This is called Pussy Riot. And although I don't try to sing their songs very well, when you hear me sing song, that's their words. The rest are mine. Pussy Riot, number 11. If ever you had any doubt the nerve of this or any kind of girl, leave the trials of home birth alone, or the strain of 2 a.m. the babe unknown. I will praise the stuff of them who without Barbie, without Ken, they took them to a church to storm, bringing down 10,000 awful, lawful kinds of harm. Cock a snoot at Mr. P, who grinds his enemies behind the tree with his special, hideous, pitiless brand of poisonous glee. They took them to the church to denounce the wrongs emerged that any fool knew to say was doomed, and now tuned, groomed to a feisty song about the wrongs. Generations genuflect, black robes brag, golden epaulets reflect, freedom's phantoms gone to heaven, gay prides chained and in detention. There they stormed inside the church, unprotected by the breasts that nurtured babes, crazed these holy fools who would scream at Pootie's gruesome, dangerous tools. Pootie's palace guards will know as he bares his teeth and grinds eating so. The ground is littered with his dead. Did you see what these brave girls said? They aren't worried at the poison knob. They demanded freedom. That's their job. Does your vagina have a brand? Let your vagina start a band. If your vagina lands in prison, then the world is gonna listen. My vagina's tough and dangerous, shaking up the major labels. Vagina gonna take the stage, 'cause vagina's got a lot to say. These brave frails with guitars and voice, they see no need of mirch and noise. They shook their fist and bravely, sanely, refrainedly mocked where once upon these shores only NATO stalked, wearing no armor but their hearts, what these brave ladies dared to start. Don't play stupid, don't play dumb. Vagina's where you're really from. Where you from? Where you from? Vagina's where you're really from. Don't play stupid, don't play dumb. Vagina's where you're really from. When armies threaten and missiles pose, these soulful women put on shows. So bravely shall taught these women find that all those generals and Pootie's spycraft cannot find. We saw these masked marauder girls, no makeup, fake up, blistered curls, stand up like that single man to tank in bloody Tiananmen where the corpses stank. You're electrocuting my nerve. I don't trust you today. Police baton on my ribs. I'm singing with the blood today. Through masks, they denounce these dangerous fools, pronounce those who with tortures, polonium, poison, prison rules. Enough, they shouted. We braved the cage, fought them for their freedom from out their stage. Whoa now, man, I'm losing focus. The JJ on hocus pocus. Don't act like you don't notice. Girls run it like the US Open. The sky's the prize. They're closing in. Those gruesome gacks, these bloody jacks, they need a win. Though throughout they've committed every heinous, blameless sin, the church yet welcomed Pootie in. Drag those 20 plenty bleeding, needing corpses by the skin. Compromat these fellow travelers. Where will they need the extra crucifixes? Under Ravels. Aleokina, arrested 7 times, unburied yet. She served her time. Brave, right there in Pootie's face. Declined to resign. She stands in place. Instead, they stood and sang so bravely, sagely graced. Aleokina, teach your daughters her name. With brave Malala, who it seemed only wanted schoolgirl dreams. These outrageous, dangerous women, no longer used like tools of fools. Aleokina, delivery girl, stepped out, disguised, took on the world. Such jewels! No longer needing heeding mass retreating task, triumphed at long last. She bravely gave bloody Putin a beating, through all the forces aligned freedom, not conceding. Against him, needling, these brave young women tried to convince him, and then in victorious song just rinsed him. Took to the stage in glorious rage to lead their fellow Russians on to freedom's page. Putin's lighting the fires of revolution. He's bored and scared of sharing silence with the people. With every execution, the stench of rotted ash, with every long sentence, a wet dream. She has migrated across the border of disorder and of meaning to reconnoiter, disguised as a free European human being. Will we join her in the voyage back to human rights, away from the merchants, purchins, spoilage? Pussy Riot, vanguard of the future. Okay, let's go to science again. my one of my refuges. Come on, come on. Okay, here we go. This, my friends, is called 470 million miles. You recently probably heard that a satellite crashed into an asteroid pair. This is my little tribute to that little amazing outreach. Dimorphos and Didymus, quite a pair. And though we strike them, but we'd settle for a spare. Didymus, reconnaissance and asteroid camera for optical navigation. Draco is all it is. Its sole mission is to smash and give the asteroids a forceful, pushy bash. Speeding at Dimorphos at 4 miles a second, the dart headed for AI-assisted arrival reservation. Not to land, but just to reckon, a very special noisy kind of check-in. Racing to a rendezvous just to knock it about, and then we're through. Determined to shake and shout a tiny defensive earthquake make, 4 miles a second makes quite an impact, or so is reckoned, make no mistake. Dimorphos is the rendezvous, one tiny tap for mankind, a brutal slap, but it may be sublime, the journey through the distance mapped, planetary defense at an asteroid shoved from its position, relentlessly slapped. We're not opposed. We like to keep our current rents a special frugal kind of defense. But it will be measured just what service Dart has made it. Sure we be nervous. The entire scheme a kind of sci-fi dream to push about this tiny spot a chunk of heaven from 1 to 11. Dimorphos had many similarities to other asteroids, and our rockets have visited instead of avoided. That spacecraft from Earth had gotten close looks at recently, particularly it resembled a pile of rubbish rather indecently. Can we maneuver the great space rocket despite all that destruction? Give it a shock. Even more damage the right wing can do when they mock from their antique vantage. We'll see it coming in the coming weeks when all the space telescopes send in their recent peaks. And then last, my friends, I come to another subject that's particularly warm to my heart. I used to write with a group of people, and most of the poets, did the standard kind of poetry writing. And in one poet in particular struck a note that I thought was interesting. He began, and since he got a lot of mileage out of it, he read this poem particularly quite often. He read about eating an ice cream sundae off his naked girlfriend. Now, listen, I like naked girlfriends as much as anybody, but whether you're a feast of fowl vegetarian or carnivore, you still might like this. This is called my response, by the way, my response to his quite successful poetry. I wrote this. It's called Dancing Round the Nipple Brown. Dancing round the nipple brown. While some may prize the thighs, I'm impressed by the breast. Though a good behind may cross my mind, the nipple's best atop the breast. Some will swoon at an ankle's turn. Upon my brain the brown button burns and leaves me much impressed, the nipple high upon the breast. An areola peeking there beyond the dress's blush can cause the average man's blood to leap and rush, and just to push against the dress the pouty, pointy part of breast catches my attention, holds it there, and though with might and main not stare at the pretty mountain there, the best of breast, the nipple spot, that's a lot. And while all the territory there, surrounded by the areola's bumpy bare, will bring my mind's attention close, and with my praying lips will bust and boast, and close, so gently breath will dance, close hands, clasp lips, and tongue in trace, the very height and breadth of place. The nipple soft and round and tall, surmounted all the blooming best, the white and tan and blue tinged breast. The pinnacle of breasty truth, the taller, tanner, straightened youth, when pressed by lips and well-tongued dance, burns my lips to taunt and tease in gentle rigor, loosen knees. With dreamy focus, I'm entranced by the nipple's sturdy, ruddy stance, and tickled there, miladies pleased, with enthusiasm's heady please. Fingered, lingered, well with tongued taste, and slowly circling begins the taste, and those pounding hearts begin to race beneath as breath begins to rise and fall as nipper does to taller size and all. The nipple seed that sees with tender touching touch can speak so loud and say so much. though hair for some excites and pleases, and necks for those or toes don't seize 'em. Some may find in light of eyes the sunum bonum of the prize, but nipples, I, with numble, trimble, treble, tripping tongue, say, aye, that's where the prize is won. Though later, as raptures roll and scented deeds unroll the scrolls, and ladies' legs and men's entwine, needs of seeds, after peaks of passion pour the paint, and patient partners gasp and faint, it remains there to lure and lead. The nipples stare and beg to bless my gentle tongue and lips to press.
Oh my God, Rick! Oh my God, I love it.
Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, you guys, hang on. Let me get my mouse going back here. All right, y'all, unmute your mics. Give it up for our first feature reader tonight, Rick Spisak. All right, let's see if we're back now. Alrighty. So that is Rick Spisak's feature that he did with David Leo Serra back in October of 2022. It is archived at The Word Is Right on our Facebook page, and it is also on our YouTube channel. So you go to the YouTube channel, you can search Rick Spisak, you can find that entire open mic with all the features as well as his performance that we saw today. Today's book club, of course, the author talk will be uploaded to our YouTube channel at Red or Green Books, and it, of course, will be archived in the Red or Green Books Facebook page as well. So if you have not yet had a chance to purchase his book, like it is just, it's so wonderful. You know, when you're looking for a book, when you're looking for a gift to buy someone and you just don't know what to get them, I would get them this book. If they have a great sense of humor or they don't have a great sense of humor, they should read this book because it is very funny. But I mean, it's not meant to be a humorous book. It's meant to make very serious things palatable for discussion, I guess, if you will. And so it is super funny and sharp and witty and charming and snarky, and I love it. Send the Rich to Space is one of my absolute favorite booking poems because we're already working our way to doing that. And so, you know, he's already taking the things that are happening in the world and he's putting his own twist on them. He's making it fun, but he also is talking about things that are very, very serious, especially in the climate of the world that we live in. Right when that set was delivered, we were ripe in the COVID-19 pandemic, just as the world's just opening back up, and now we look around at the world and such conflict that exists worldwide, not just here at home. So, you know, his continual push for peace, his continual push to settle conflict is it's very valid for the climate of the world that we live in today. And so I thank Rick for being brave enough and courageous enough to think about these issues and to put them in such a way as a spoken word artist and a page poet, to deliver them to the masses in such a way that will get people talking and will hopefully allow people to hear a little bit better. So if you have not picked up your copy of Stone Poetry, please go to the website. Again, it's Red or Green Books, Red, READ, redorgreenbooks.com is the website. You can read all of the bios for all of the authors, read the reviews on the books. You can order your books there. Use the coupon code STONE in the month of April here, and you can get this book $5 off. And all of the proceeds for the sales of his book will go straight to him. And so we do, again, wish him a speedy recovery. We hope that we'll be able to see him again soon live in the room and be able to hear his work as he's creating new works, I'm hoping, because he really is a blessing to have in our poetry community. I've learned a great deal from him, and he continues to always just pour so unselfishly into everyone else. And so thank you, Rick, so much for all of your friendship and your work and your love and your creativity and your passion for what we do. And I promise, like, you make me want to be better at this, right? Carrying the torch of pushing up other people in our poetry community. And I promise I will continue to do that. And I love you, and I hug your wife, right? Big shout out to your wife as she's carrying you through this time right now, and for all of the family members who are loving on you and praying on you. And we will continue to pray and send healing energy to you and all of them as they are on that journey with you. All right, next month we will have Kimberly KMA Anderson here from South Africa. It's very, very exciting. If you have not got her book, y'all need to. $5 coupon code every month for that. So keep an eye out. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can find all of the information available there. We'll see you back next month for the May Author Talk. Peace and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you in May. Bye-bye.